Hey, welcome in. It's Friday. Brown bag bets, yay. Had a great day. My golf matchups lost. Apparently the Timberwolves, I was just telling these guys, when I say these guys, me and Matt and producer Dan, I didn't even really watch the Timberwolves game. I was watching Yellowstone. Good show. Me and the wife are taking that in. So I didn't want to spoil the Timberwolves game, I guess. And apparently I did without even watching it. So sorry, Minnesota fans. That's what you get. You're used to it. It's been a few decades since we've had a team that's any good. I think we're going to continue that trend one more year with the Kirk Cousins-led Vikings. Twins are scuffling.
Hey, we're on your wild, though.
Yeah,
the
wild. Yeah,
can't forget, you literally live in the state of hockey, Andy.
That's fair. Let's give a shout-out to the Minnesota State Mavericks for making the finals. Let's give a shout-out to the Wild for being good. The Twins can certainly turn it around because, honestly, the division kind of stinks. The only other good team is getting injured left and right. Because they have a drunken captain at the head of that ship.
I've been tried to be somewhat of a Tony La Russa defender, and I do think there's some merit to, I think early on in the season he plays around with lineups, tries to give people days off. But he's had some incredibly questionable lineup placements so far this season through 6 games. Like yesterday, I think they had one of the statistically worst 3 hitters in the history of the Chicago White Sox hitting third for the second consecutive game. It made no sense.
Also, Dallas might not be the answer. I don't know if you want him in your playoff rotation.
No, he's not. He's not good. And I think in his defense, that the doubleheader where he got rocked, they committed 3 errors in that first inning. So I think there was probably a little bit of being pissed off and probably a little bit angry. But then he also just went and gave up 8 earned runs after those 3 errors. So everybody sucked. But we got Sox Twins this weekend. So big series.
There we go.
Yeah.
Did St. Louis win yesterday? I don't
know.
So.
Baseball went terrible. Baseball was not good yesterday.
What about Seattle?
Okay. Seattle, I believe, lost 6-5.
Oh God! Now I need wins on these teams.
Yesterday was a tough one, but we had a perfect day on the ice. So baseball taketh away, but hockey giveth for me at least. So
who did win?
One up, one down. Who won?
The Minnesota Twins. Was it John Ryan?
Sure. Who did the Twins were? They played Kansas City.
It was Kansas City.
I think they beat Kansas City 1-0.
Kansas, yeah, but this Ryan kid, good. I like it. I think he's the guy from that. Oh, that's Jack Ryan. I'm thinking of that. Severance.
We should find a summer weekend where the Sox are in Minnesota and have a company outing at Target Field.
It's a really good ballpark.
I love Target. I've been there once.
We went there. Really good area.
A couple years ago, we went there for a Sox Twins weekend series and caught a couple games there. And I love that park. It's right in the middle of downtown. There's so many different levels, a lot of different bar areas. You can go watch the game from the outfield. I love that place.
I will say this too. If you want to take in anyone's ever traveling to Minneapolis and taking in a Twins game, everyone has their own budget for buying tickets. I've spent less than $20 on a ticket before.
Yeah.
You go sit in the bleachers on a Tuesday afternoon at Wrigley, you can get away with that. I've spent hundreds to sit behind home plate because I thought I wanted to do that one time, and it was cool to be on TV the whole time. That was up at Comerica, but I don't know what they are anymore. But I feel like it was pretty reasonable at the Twin Stadium. It's like the second deck wrapping around the infield. Those gold seats you see, they're a little bigger and they're padded. It's called
that.
It's not the
bottom club level kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's club level, and you have to have your tickets to get. They have special restaurants and stuff, but they aren't like $300 a pop. I feel like we were only paying like $80, $90 a ticket because it's second level kind of shit.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice. That's the nice part for baseball games. There's so many of them that you can find those Tuesday nights against the Royals in our case, or against a bad team, where you can find some value on those really good seats that you're not dropping $200 to go sit in a really nice seat. You can find Tuesday or Wednesday night that's not packed and go sit in $200 seats for $80.
For a lot of them are under the third deck too. So if it rain, I remember it rained one time.
Even better.
We just sat there in the shade, didn't get rained on. I suppose we should make some picks or something. Just talking baseball.
I think we're avoiding it because our picks were bad yesterday.
You know what? It comes and it goes. We start with some golf. I will start with golf. Golf is a little different. Today, you're not going to see someone shoot a 60. Fuck, somebody shot a 59 yesterday. And actually, right now, Cantlay and Schauffele are 15 under. I don't know what score wins this tournament, but it might touch 30. It is wild.
Love that.
I think I'm going to call it my shot now. Minus 27 wins the tournament. Remember, this about the 5.5 minute mark. We'll have to clip this when when Andrew Damas hits another one of these. But today, just one matchup that I like: Glover and Reeve over Grace and Garrick Higo. It is alternate shot a little differently. So a lot of things I based it on, like the team level stuff, was fine. But today I just kind of looked at, for teams that didn't have a glaring weakness, maybe two guys who can both hit the greens well, two guys with decent approach shots, two guys that aren't going to, just if you have one guy with a glaring weakness, it can bring you down on a lot of these shots, especially when it's approach. So I have the Glover Reeve team much higher in approach, greens and regulations, a few other things of just scoring metrics getting there. So I like this a lot in alternate shot. I believe they go off this afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. You have some time on this. The golf started a lot later today than yesterday. Yesterday, there's just a lot more shots to hit. Essentially, you only have 80. You have half the golf shots today because they're alternating instead of each playing the hole. So you have a lot more time to get some of these in. Just that one today. I'll continue to hope and pray on the rest of my matchups. It looks like, looking at my score tracking here, I have a couple that are doing good, a couple that are doing not so good, and then an outright that already withdrew. So we're just cheering for, again, it sucks to cheer for Billy Horschel, but he's not that far off. 6 shots off the lead right now. Him and Sam Burns are not too far. And then Team Canada, I think they are 8 shots off the lead, but they haven't started yet today. So need a big day from Team Canada to get in the running for the weekend. And I will cheer against, I guess I'll just have to cheer against Patrick Cantlay again. Weird.
I think Reed's going to be happy to hear you're rooting for Team Canada. I think that's going to make him happy.
Yeah. Team Canadian Adams. What you got first then? Dan told me the order. I forgot. Order. I'm going to say I
think it's baseball first.
We'll go baseball first.
We guessed right. Look at us. Mets D-backs. I'm going with the Mets minus 1.5, but plus 117. I think David Peterson is on the mound for them. It doesn't really matter who's been on the mound for the Mets so far this year. All 5 have been really good. I think Peterson has got like an ERA of like 1.5 through 2 starts. Off the top of my head, I don't remember who the Diamondbacks are throwing. It might be Zach Gallen, I want to say, who's a pretty good pitcher in his own right, but the Mets are playing really good baseball. They're better than the Diamondbacks. I like that at plus money. And your favorite, that's what I thought. Nailed it. And your favorite prop bet that I give out, Tim Anderson total bases. We're going to take 2+ against the Twins as the Sox and Twins kick off that series in Minnesota this weekend. Anderson has been really good in Minnesota in his career. I think he's hitting like 355 at Target Field. Last year, I believe he hit like 345 with like 3 homers, and he's been a very good hitter at Target Field. I think he's a guy who revels in that rivalry a little bit, so I expect a good game from him off the top. And plus, when you're taking these 2 the total bases props, anybody that's a good hitter at the top of the order is a nice bet because you're going to get extra at bats. Tim Anderson will have the most at bats or at least plate appearances on the White Sox. So I like him at 2+ total bases for a slumping White Sox team. They're leaving Cleveland, which has kind of been a house of horrors from the last couple of years, going to Minnesota. So I think he helps them snap out of it here with a nice game.
I'm looking up splits to see if Tim Anderson ever hit against John Roush. Because this Ober, I don't know much about this Ober cat. I just know he's massive.
Like he's a big boy. He's like 6'8" or something. He's a big guy.
I think he's 6'9". John Roush was like, I think he was 6'11". just disgustingly huge. And
I looked up some splits against Bailey Ober. I think he pitched a couple times against the Sox last year. I think Anderson might have had 11 at bats. He was like 2 for 11 against them, but it's not a very big sample size. I think Jose Abreu, for what it's worth, was like 4 for 10 with 3 extra base hits against them. So that might be one to look at. But yeah, all you need is a double or 2 singles, whatever. He's going to sit first pitch fastball on the first bat. He's probably going to get it. He's probably going to connect. And if it finds somewhere good, first pitch of the game, you could hit your bet.
You should explain total bases, because I saw some asshole on Twitter put a bet. It was like over 0.5 total bases, and then that person was walked, and they celebrated their bet.
Cannot do that. Walks don't count.
Had to go back, and it is not, reaching on an error, hit by pitch, catcher interference, moving up from first to second doesn't count as a base.
I actually thought, and I generally didn't know. I bet this a lot, and I didn't realize it earlier until the season where I had a Luis Robert total bases prop. And I think it was 2+, and his first bat of the game, he had a base hit, or second bat of the game, he had a base hit to get him to 1. And then he stole second. And I was like, wait a minute, does that one count? Because it's not a hit, but it ended up not, but that was one, because I knew walks didn't count, knew errors didn't count, but stolen base, he's going to take the base himself maybe, but no, total bases props are bases accumulated through hits from that player.
Only through, even if it is a single advanced on error.
Yeah. If it's a
and
single,
he ends up on second place, that's just one base.
That's one base.
Just know what you're betting.
So 2 singles or any extra base hit will get you to the 2+ total bases.
And they should have that market. I would like that market, like total bases accumulated. Like if he's stealing, if he's advancing on other people hitting, like give me like a 5.5 on that. I'd bet into that.
Wouldn't that be so hard to, I guess, for books to come up with odds for, because there's just so much unpredictability that goes. Walks you can accumulate for, like Yasmani Grandal walks all the time, so his total, even though he hits like 140, like his total bases with walks would be closer to even money for 2+. But with throwing errors and there's so much on it, and with baseball being every single day, it's almost impossible.
You just give it a 30-cent straddle, lower limits, and let me bet it. I think that'll be fine. Then, you know what? Just set it high, because people would be betting overs anyway.
That's also true. No one's going to take an under on that.
Speaking of very common bets that we're placing every day, I have a soccer one for today. This starts at 12:30 Central Standard Time, which is to say 1:30 for you East Coasters. Fenerbahce. I'm never sure if I say that quite right. They are sitting in second place. Anyone who follows EPL kind of understands the table. There's a certain spot. If you finish high enough in the table, guess what? You get to go to the Champions League. That's how it works. If you finish a little lower, you get to go to Europa. I think there's even a spot where you get in the Champions League playoffs where you can go either way, depending how you do. It's not, this is not the EPL. You don't get as many spots. They actually get 2 spots. There's some leagues that only get 1. So good job, Turkish Super League. There are the top 2 teams do advance to the Champions League. And our guys, the Fenerbahceans, they're sitting in second place. It's going to be awful, awful, awful hard for them to win the league. They're behind by 11 points with only 5 fixtures left. They're going to have to really need Trabzonspor to muck this up like they've been kind of doing, honestly. But they're only sitting 1 single point ahead of Konyaspor for that final Champions League spot, the runner-up spot. Every match is important. You won't see them dogging it because they can't win the league. Champions League is a high honor for any team to get into. So this is a bottom of the league team they're playing. I think they are 19th. They have given up 57 goals in 33 games. This is a bad defense.
That doesn't sound good.
And Fener's been good on the road. They've been putting up some big totals. I almost just played a team total over, but it was kind of straddling the 2.5 and the 1.5, where one was huge minus money, one was big plus money. I almost Dutched them for just a flat 2. I might still do that. Ended up looking at some splits. I don't think they're going to be able to keep them off the score sheet very long. So this is halftime, full-time, which means, again, we're just explaining bets today, which is fun. I mean, a little education for y'all, too, if you don't bet a lot of soccer. It means they must be leading at halftime and then win the game as well. So if they are winning at halftime and end up drawing, it loses. If they are drawing or losing at halftime and end up winning, it still loses. You have to win. You have to be winning at halftime and then win the match. That's why you're getting a plus number on a team that is like a, minus 200 favorite here. It's a little different than just winning the first half. There's a lot of correlation between winning the first half and winning the match, so you're not getting full parlay odds on that. But plus 125, I like here on the road. Rise-a-Sport. That's who it is. I know I said the wrong team name. It was not Konyaspor. Where do they sit in the standings? Let's take a look. Rise-a-Sport. Oh, they're 18th. They've given up 59 goals. Even more in 33 matches. So looking for my Turkish squad to get on the score sheet early and just run a train on this Rise-a-Sport squad. And there's not much hockey tonight, huh?
No, it sounds like you just adopted the same theory or the same thought process that I've had with hockey the last couple of weeks, and it's finding value on good teams with something to play for against some bad teams.
Yeah,
which is a good thought process to have, and usually is a valid one coming
NHL
playoff time
Super League.
pushes. NHL and Turkish Super League, they are the same. Not a big hockey slate tonight. I think there's only 4 games. Not a whole lot of value on there either. I think Colorado Edmonton is like the only game that's kind of worth anything, or at least not worth anything, but with 2 good teams playing. And I don't want to touch the Colorado Avalanche in the regular season because they really have nothing to play for. They're all kind of settled, and Edmonton is still kind of jostling for standings position, but nothing really worth taking there. Last night went well, though. We the Maple Leafs hit their second period over. Well, the Lightning hit it for them. The Lightning shut them out 4-0 in the second period, but it doesn't matter what the Maple Leafs did as long as one team helped them out. So that is 14 of 17 second period overs now, over 2.5 in Maple Leafs games, which is that's a solid little trend there at plus money. So that hit, and then our favorites parlay hit last night too. So that was nice. The Hurricanes gave us a little bit of a scare. They were up they were down 2-1 headed into the third period, and out shooting the Jets 34-17. So that was looking like it might be a bad beat, frustrating, but they stormed back there and took a 4-2 win.
Yeah, I bet all this stuff. It was nice. I woke up with a confusing amount, so I had forgotten, and I will shout out Mr. Big Ten Watto. Kelly, so not only did your hockey stuff win for me, I couldn't find that second period thing. I just played the parlay twice.
It's only a couple places. I think it's always on Caesars. It's always on BetMGM. FanDuel doesn't usually have it till live, but that's where you usually kind of have to go get it. But if you can find it pregame, it's good.
I ended up just playing the parlay twice instead. I said, whatever, we'll just do more parlay. But you know what? You know who else won last night? The Saints beat the Giants in the Australian Football AFL League. I've been sitting on a ticket for like 4 days.
Wait.
On that.
The Austrian Football League? You're talking about the Graz Giants?
Australian. This is
St.
Kilda. St. Kilda took out GWS last night. In fact, they crushed 77-60. They opened as a small dog, I believe. Closed. Got some nice CLV. So shout out Kelly at Big Ten Watto for giving me another AFL winner. Beauty to have that along with the hockey bets. The Bovada
I was going to tell you,
looking hilarious today.
I thought you said the Giants of the Austrian Football League. My best friend in the world was the quarterback for the Graz Giants for a year, so I thought you were betting on his former team. I was going to
whole
be
different league. Whole different league.
Is it American football at least?
No, it's Aussie rules. Like it's.
I know. I know. Yeah, no. Now I know. You're like, yeah, I know. Now I know.
Yeah, running and kicking and I don't know.
Like rugby, kind of.
I'm hoping to bet Gaelic football here soon, but
we are going to go with an under tonight.
Why?
I've talked about it's just a first period under.
Okay.
The game in itself might go over, but the Wild played last night. Granted, they were at home, so no travel, but they played last night, so that is probably going to be a team that's going to try to slow down the pace and control the game that way. We've talked about how good their goaltending has been. Both goaltenders have been, Cam Talbot and Marc-Andre Fleury have been since that trade for Fleury. And I think it's 5 of the last 6 Wild first periods have gone under 1.5. They've actually been having some higher scoring games, but for whatever reason, those first periods have been 0-0, 1-0 most of the time. And I just think on a night where, yes, they do need the 2 points, but they played last night and they have a not good Kraken team coming in to play them. I could see them starting a little bit slower, not necessarily not playing bad, but just kind of slowing down the pace, getting their legs underneath them before kind of turning things up in the second. So I like a first period under, especially plus money like that. I feel comfortable taking it. Wouldn't touch the game total because anything can happen with the Wild offense can be explosive. The Kraken have a pretty bad defense goaltending situation. So I wouldn't touch the game total, but I like the first period under at plus money.
I'm Bodie, I guess.
It's just a period total.
All right,
fine. It's just one period.
Fine. I'll bet it.
It's an under, but it's plus money. You like plus money?
Yeah, I do. What time is this game? And unders are usually halfway sharp. It's like
it's probably. Run. I think it's 7:00 start for you.
All right, 7 p.m. I might even watch hockey tonight. Who knows?
There you go.
There's no basketball. Well, there's a couple.
There's some basketball tonight.
There's a couple of games. Yeah, the Bulls. Big game for the Bulls. Big game for if Miami wins this, the series is kind of over.
Yeah,
and Phoenix, New Orleans is very interesting now that they have the injury. Honestly, Chicago, Milwaukee's interesting now with the injury too. So
I've unfortunately started to believe because Chris Middleton's out. It's gonna come back to bite me. But the Middleton injury makes me actually think there's a chance, even though there's probably not.
Hope is never good. Just bet Kevin Fiala anytime goal scorer plus 200. Call it a day. Says my guy Rick Daddy 69 420. I think he was in here on 420. Missed Mr. 69 420 on 420. But I knew some Fialas back home. Maybe I should bet that.
Yeah.
I think I'm distantly related to some Fialas. Maybe it's the same family. I'm going to go find that. I like it.
Not the most common last names.
I'm going to bet that for sure, too. And then, yes, I'll watch basketball tonight. No real action for me. I'm going to get sucked into betting some more Nets series. I'm betting, probably looking for the best price there. Somebody in the NBA chat brought up an interesting case. If you can find just an over 5.5 games in the Nets series, that might be the sharper look.
Yeah.
They probably push them, but it still might just be the Celtics. The Nets are getting outcoached just hilariously. They need an actual
they need an actual
NBA level head coach next year and a better
Jay Wright to the Nets.
Jay Wright. I think he just is seriously ready to just golf.
I think he might be too, but there's some part of me that thinks he'd be willing to listen to some NBA teams if they call, and if Kevin Durant calls him, maybe.
KD is a BetSperts investor. People forget that.
That's true. He's our guy. We're a Nets podcast.
I'll text him quick. I'll see maybe if he has never answered, but I will text him anyway. I don't think it's his number either. So
probably not.
Anyways, Friday, go have fun, win all your bets. Congrats to you if you do. I'm gonna ride with the Kevin Fiala anytime. The goals under first period. I've got my golf play. I've got some golf stuff for the whole weekend.
I'll take some Turkish soccer with you.
Real golf next week down in Mexico. A little Turkish soccer. I'm going to see what my tennis guys have lined up for me too. Just going to bet everything and have a fun afternoon doing some writing. We'll catch you guys Monday. Don't forget to give a thumbs up in YouTube.